How's it going, guys? It's Erev Shabbos, and I am doing my best imitation of actually it's not ours, but of the man that some people like to call the President of the United States. Got my kosher ice cream. He likes ice cream, you know? What can I say? Little children like ice cream, you know? People with the mental capacity of little children. So, guys, this morning, I woke up, Baruch Hashem, and I saw a badge of honor. I saw that I was given a badge of honor. What is that? What is that badge of honor? It was one of my videos that was taken down by YouTube for shmedical shmush misinformation. That's what the reason was given. And so I appealed it. It actually said, you know what it said? There is a scientific consensus among experts. It was like that was in the description of this, the reason given, the paragraph that YouTube wrote to me, by experts in the field, and contradicting the scientific consensus by experts in the field is a violation of YouTube policies. Something like that, guys. Something like that. And I wrote back to them. You know, I did the appeal, but I wasn't really appealing. I just wanted to write to them so that the idiot who's reading this, or the bot, or the human bot, who's reading this understands what they're doing. I said, there's actually no such thing as scientific, quote-unquote, consensus. What you have here is scientism, which is a religion and dogma. Science is never in consensus, right? Especially if the people who are going against what you think is a consensus are being censored and are being ostracized and canceled and blacklisted. One by one. Deliberately. They're being hunted, okay? And I said, on top of that, the person in the video is involved in treating over 8,000 people of you-know-what, okay? Which makes him an expert in the field. Okay? So, where's your consensus now? That's what I wrote to them. Of course, they didn't care. And, you know, as you were. So, my friends, you know, but I was talking to my friend, Ephraim. He told me to say his last name, Shmelenko. At one point, he was like, can't you just change the title of the video to a shmank shmishkushin with Shmephraim Shmelenko about the schmack scene with the Shmovid? I'm like, well, that would be ridiculous. Maybe I could try. It's astounding, guys. It's astounding the world we live in. And what's even more astounding is that, let's say half the people, maybe a little bit more, don't even understand what the heck is going on. Or as I said last night, you know, the most amazing thing to me is that I personally know people who understand that the media, that big tech, that politicians, when it comes to any other issue, every issue under God's green earth, under God's sun that He created, lie to their face chronically and consistently and mercilessly and all the flippin' time. My friends, when it comes to this issue, the you know what? For some reason, They can't apply the same standard. My friends, that's the most amazing thing to me. It'd be one thing if people, you have the people who are completely turned off, don't understand what's going on to everything, and agree with the media, agree with big tech, agree with the woke, our woke, quote unquote woke, if they're really asleep. It'd be one thing, you have those people. I get it. Okay, they're asleep for everything. My friends, I have friends that listen to Ben Shapiro, that listen to Jordan Peterson, listen to Crowder, listen to this, listen to that. Candace Owens, they get it. But when it comes to this thing that they've just put in their body, out to lunch, my friends. Out to lunch. And I asked my friend Ephraim, Shmilenko. Sorry, I can't stop. It was the way he said it today on the phone. The way he phrased it, I was dying of laughter. So when I asked him about this, why is this the case? He goes, listen, man. He goes, listen, people are not capable, first and foremost, of admitting that they made a mistake. May have made a mistake, right? Very difficult. Another aspect to this, and this is something that Ephraim just wrote recently today, is that people, we live in the most prosperous time, the most creature comforts, relatively speaking, the most prosperous time in history. We always say, a lot of the rabbis I met throughout the years said, guys, we should thank Hashem because, the way that we're eating tonight on Shabbos, or we're going to eat B'ezrat Hashem on Shabbos, the only people who could eat like that for the, millennia, until very recently, were kings. Regular people, regular quote-unquote plebeians, as we call ourselves, did not eat this way, did not dine this way, did not live this way. My friends, we live in the most prosperous, relatively speaking, time in history, the most creature comforts. But he says the drawback to that is that the Sitra Achra, the other side, quote unquote, what's called in Kabbalah, knows that, and it uses that in order to get us to do what it wants us to do. It knows that we are not capable of sitting alone with our thoughts, and just with Hashem, and to talk to Hashem, to connect to Hashem, to sit alone with our thoughts. It knows that we need those stupid restaurants and clubs and great kosher restaurants, foodies, as much as I love my friend Lon Kornblum, but it knows that we need all that stuff in our baseball and our football and our hockey and our basketball. My friends, I've been saying this, you probably know, I've been talking about this since the beginning of the pandemic, all this stuff that I'm saying. But Frank is basically saying this force, right, by way of its surrogates, and I'm not going to name them because there's so many of them, and they're all in different spheres of, different areas, whether it's medicine, big tech, government, media, okay, like Hollywood. It's using those people, the Sitra Achra, in order to, keep us from thinking, to keep us, he used the term, to keep us from living or sitting quietly with our dread and our fear and facing it. The dread and the fear that we have inside of us, that's what he called it, the yet small voice, still small voice, And on top of that, in the end, it says, well, if you want all those things, if you want to have all those things, you better put this stuff in your body. And if you don't put this stuff in your body, you won't have all those things. You're not going to be able to go to the game, can't go to the restaurant, can't go here, can't go there, can't go anywhere, depending on where you live, right? That's it. That's what it's doing. And we are so obsessed with it. We're so our life without these things have essentially ostensibly no meaning. And my friends, the most amazing thing to me, again, no offense to anybody, but I understand the people that are so to speak, not really connected to anything spiritually. They live their lives mostly in physicality. They derive meaning from physical and external sources. I understand those people, my friends. But it's incredible to me when I see people with kippas on their heads, people who daven more than me 3 times a day, who go to shul, who learn, who read in the Gemara that talks about, just things like, there's basically the Jewish people. If you read, there's certain tractates in the Gemara that talks about the Jewish people and how, the Tanaim, the tzaddikim of the Gemara, of the Talmud, were flayed alive by Romans because they fought for what they, wanted to learn and believe in, and the Torah and keeping the Torah. My friends, these are people who read Daf Yomi, and they for some reason, their emunah in Hashem and their connection to Hashem basically has gone out the window. It's gone out the flipping window, my friends. And then when you call them out on it, when you tell them what I just told you, they'll say, "No, you're mistaken. It actually, Dafka, I am connected to Hashem because I believe that Hashem gave us this stuff to inject into our bodies to save us." My friends, when they tell me that, I really don't even know what to say because I'm stunned. I am stunned when I hear that kind of talk. Especially when you're talking about, again, when you tell them, there's a doctor out there who has treated 8,000 people, and the things that he's using to treat people, some of them you can get over the counter, but the other things, some of them, those things, you have to be prescribed by a doctor. There are, doctors who won't prescribe it to you, and then when you do find a doctor who prescribes it to you, there are pharmacies that exist that won't even fill the prescription, my friends. Basically, what's happening, my friends, this is a mass malpractice situation we have here. When you tell those people, there's treatments. You don't need to go take this stuff, especially when the stuff wanes, and you have to keep taking a second one, and a third one, and a fourth one, and a fifth one, until you're blue in the face. Or until you're just blue because you're dead. My friends, but, they'll tell you, this is from Hashem. This is from Hashem. I had one person tell me in Jerusalem at a Shabbos meal that she said, what did she say? Hallel. And I joked with her. I was like, did you say with a bracha or without a bracha? Are you Haredi or are you Dati Leumi? One person said they said Sheikhianu. My friends, this is Avodah Zarah. They've turned this thing into Avodah Zarah. These are God-fearing Jews, supposedly, allegedly. Torah Jews, allegedly, who have turned this thing into Avodah Zarah. And now the Avodah Zarah, they're gonna impose this on children. This is basically, the child sacrifice of Baal, if you want to call it. There's my friend Frank calling. I'll call him back. My friends, astounding. Simply astounding. And, 1 second, I'll just wait until this stops ringing. As much as I'd like to pick up this phone call, I'll call him back. Yeah, my friends. I don't even know what to. I don't even know what to say anymore. But yeah, it's incredible. And so yeah, the Sitra Achra uses our, what it knows to be our desires and our, not even desires, but the things that we have gotten so used to that we think is actually life, which is not actually life. Really, it's not. And I was just telling my friend Shmefraim Shmelenko that, I told him, I ever since this situation started back in March 2020, I've been saying that, I'm so glad that Hashem made me an introvert, because before this whole situation, I really couldn't give a damn about restaurants or events. Not to say that I didn't go, but I went when I was invited, and I really had to it's one of the things that I had to go when it was somebody I wanted to see there, or something I wanted to experience. Nothing to do with, whatever it was. But just to go out of my way to go to some restaurant because I want to check out this new restaurant, new kosher place, and then I want to go write about it on Great Kosher Restaurant Foodies or wherever the heck, blog about it. My friends, I work in the wine industry. Now imagine how ironic that is. I work in the wine industry. I import and distribute wine to America from Israel, and I sell it to stores. I sell to restaurants. Baruch Hashem, and also liquor we have from California, etrog liqueur and whiskeys. My friends, I don't care. I work in the industry and I simply don't care. I always tell people the reason I work in this industry is because I wanted to take Israeli wines to the next level, and I wanted to bring Israel. It's like a hasbara to Israel, and it's a siman of prophecy. It's a sign of prophecy. It's a sign of the coming of Mashiach, and I wanted to participate in that. And make parnasa as a byproduct. But when it comes to restaurants and all this stuff, my friends, I don't care. I just don't care. See, I'm still imitating Biden. I got my ice cream, and I'm talking to you in a whisper. I just don't care. I got my ice cream, and I just don't care. Okay? So then the situation started, and I'm like, my God, this is great. And everybody's like, if you don't take this stuff, if you don't put it in your body, you won't be able to go here and there and everywhere. I'm like, guess what? I don't care. As if I'm losing anything. You can't lose something you never had to begin with. You never valued to begin with, okay? And then they say, well, what if your family member, it's a birthday, it's this, it's that, wedding, schmedding. I'm like, listen. In the words of Larry David, okay. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? I wish you a hearty mazel tov. I'll send you a present. I'll send you some money. My wishes. And, if you're going to have a what's it called? A Sheva Brachas, I'll come to the Sheva Brachas. If you're not a wackadoodle and you're not afraid of me being there, then I'm like the boy in the bubble, or you're the boy in the bubble, or we're both in the bubble. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll figure something out. I'm not willing to put crap inside of me just so I can go to your wedding. It's not going to be, if I put something inside of me, it's going to be because somebody convinced me that it's for my health, my friends. But if somebody's telling me that I can't go on a plane, I can't go here, I can't fly to Florida, you know what, I'll get in my car and I'll drive to Florida. And then if you're telling me I can't drive interstate, because they're not letting people cross the state, if we, Chas v'Shalom, get to that point, then we're talking, then it's not going to just be me who's going to object to that. It's going to be like a bunch of people in the country. And then we're going to have a serious situation on our hands, my friends. I'm not going to say what, because I don't want to be deplatformed, okay? So, my friends, but the Sitra Achra knows this. The Sitra Achra knows what it's doing. It knows what the people want, or what the people are valuing. I've been saying this for years, guys. I've been saying this for years. Ever since I got back from Israel and I saw what was going on with the Frum community here in America, I was saying it for years, that people have their heads up their you-know-whats, and people are valuing the wrong things, and people are chasing, and people are coveting, and people are obsessed. They are obsessed with trips, and schmips, and this and that, and kosher food, and $10,000 Pesach. They are obsessed. And now they took this crap in their body, so they continue to be obsessed and to do what they've been doing, as if nothing flippin' changed, as if this thing was not a wake-up call for them to say, hey, wait a minute, maybe there's Hashem doing this. Hey, wait a minute, maybe Hashem woke us up with 45 people dying in Meron, being crushed when, they were safe in previous years, which was a miracle. Maybe Hashem caused that building in Miami to collapse, unfortunately, with a bunch of Jews inside. My friends, when are we going to wake up from our stupor and realize that the people that are claiming to help us are not coming to help us? They're coming to kill us slowly and very quietly and very subtly. And they're doing it via propaganda, via psychological operations, and with a smile on their face, pretending they are our friends, my friends. And you know what, I'll just end with this. I was saying in one of the videos, guys, that, the Jewish people ultimately, unfortunately, may be blamed for this, because we are at the helm of all these companies and all these agencies. And I saw Exhibit A today, yet another guy, Dr. Baruch of Johnson and Schmanson and Schmanson, Swanson and Swanson, talking about, on CBS, whatever, news, why it's good, or how the effectiveness of mixing the you-know-whats, the different types of you-know-whats. One from Zeiser, Schmeiser, and the other one from, uh, you know, I call it antiquity. It's not so modern, with an A at the end. Antiquity. Like a cocktail, my friends. This is already, I don't know, this is already like, if they had multiple Avodah Zorahs back in the day when they were doing Avodah Zorah, you're mixing Avodah Zorahs, and you're making like a super Zorah, super Avodah Zorah. I don't even, I see like some laugh emojis. I mean, I guess I hope like it's funny to you, but it's not even funny. It's not funny. It's insane. My friends, unfortunately, we're going to get blamed for this. The Jewish people. It all starts with us. Whatever Israel is doing is cascading to the rest of the world. There was a guy that got up, Ethiopian Knesset member, and he spoke this week, and he said, the Ministry of Health of Israel is inciting people into a corner. They're turning people into pariahs. They are inciting people. They're using scare tactics on people. And he goes, this is not going to end well. You're going to push people to the, it's like that song, don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I'm about to lose my head. Ha ha ha. So they're pushing people to the edge. And, my friends, I've been saying for a while that Israelis seem a little docile in terms of like, they don't so much go against their government. They don't there's a few people that protest, but most Israelis don't do that. It's not a culture. It's not in the culture over there to do that. If you go to France, they're obsessed with it. Americans also, at least, a lot of people in America. But in Israel, they're not so big on that. My friends, this Ethiopian guy with nothing but street smarts in his head said, you're going to push people to the edge. And you're not going to like, I'm paraphrasing, you're not going to like what's coming. You're going to push them to the edge, and they're going to revolt against you, and then it's not going to be pretty, my friends. Anyway, guys, that's enough out of me. It's Erev Shabbat. It's time to make some rice. And, well, at least we have our ice cream. And, B'ezrat Hashem, my friends. The truth, hopefully all of their plans will melt down like this ice cream, if it stays out of the freezer for too long. And B'ezrat Hashem, we'll see the emes very soon. Alright guys, Shabbat Shalom. It's been real.